Hey guys, so I'm here in my towel and I thought I would do a get ready with me. I haven't done one of these in a while, and I thought it would be fun. I'm kind of shopping my stash a little bit, just kind of using products that are in my everyday makeup drawer, as well as just products that I'm trying to kind of focus on right now. So I kind of picked out what I generally want to use for this look, but I don't really have a specific plan, so we'll just kind of see what happens. But I haven't done a get ready with me in a while, so I thought it would be kind of fun to do one of these today. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing, it's like, what time is it? It's like 3 o'clock, so it's not really the beginning of the day, but it is. I am going to be filming some other videos today, so I wanted to get ready anyway, and I figured I might as well do it on camera. So this moisturizer is almost gone. I'm actually getting ready to film an empties video, which I always get really excited when it's time to film an empties because it's really just one of my favorite kinds of videos to film. It's one of my favorite videos to watch, and so I've been like doing a lot of thinking the last few days about like what I'm going to talk about. I don't know. I just think it's always kind of fun to reflect on what I have completely used up, and it's always kind of satisfying, and I think this is about to go in the empties bin actually because it's empty. So anyway, my face is now moisturized, and so I'm going to be using the Terre Fluid Foundation. This is what I've been testing out lately. I don't know if I am in love with this foundation, to be honest with you. This is in the shade Natural. It's okay. I haven't formed an opinion on it yet, so I'm not going to say too much about it, but you can kind of see now, just maybe you guys can kind of let me know what your thoughts are when you see me apply it. So right off the bat, I thought that this was way too dark for me, but it's not too bad. It's a little bit dark, but once I blend it into the skin, it's not terrible. So it kind of has like a green tea kind of scent, which, I mean, it's a very light scent. It kind of smells good, to be honest, but I mean, it's nothing that's gonna like linger on my face for a long period of time. And I think I'm gonna try again this brush. This is also from Terre, and it is one of their, I don't even know what you call these, it's like one of the Artiste style brushes. It's a really big brush. I don't know if I really like this brush any more than I would like just a regular foundation brush, but I mean, it definitely covers a large portion of my face. Like, look at how big that is. That's like the size of my face, basically. So, I don't know. It's alright. These brushes are not cheap. Like this, I don't remember how much this was. I got it a little bit cheaper since I got it on HauteLook, but I mean, Terre is a really, I would call it like a luxury brand. It is pretty expensive, and I am not impressed by the quality of this. Like, straight out of the box, it was shedding, which is like, okay, like even Wet n Wild brushes don't shed, right? So that was kind of like the first thing I noticed. I don't know that it's shedding still, but it does have like these little bristles that they're not like, I can't pull them out, but they're sticking out farther than the other bristles, so I don't really know what that's all about. And then the handle itself, I feel like it's just really kind of bendy, so I don't know. I don't really have anything to compare this to because this is the first brush of this style that I have tried, so there is one layer of that foundation. It's not, you know, it's not super high coverage. I think my problem with it is it just doesn't go on looking even. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but it looks very blotchy. Like, why is it not, like, even if the shade is slightly darker than what I would want, I would still expect it to go on, like, in an even layer, but I feel like there's, like, splotches of product and then other splotches where there's, like, no product. And when I look up really close in the mirror, there's areas that, like, don't really seem to have any foundation, even though I blended it out completely. So I don't know if that's the fault of the brush, or the foundation, or both. I need to try it with other brushes and maybe even just with my fingers and with a sponge. and see if that changes it. I have tried it with and without primers, and that doesn't seem to really change much, so I don't know. It's still kind of, I'm still trying to figure out how I feel about that, but anyway. So right now it's an okay foundation, but it's still something that I'm kind of playing with to see if I really would recommend it or not. So then I'm just going to use this, what is this, Pixi Brightening Peach Corrector on my eyes. I don't do this every day, but I do on days that I'm filming or just days that I want like a little bit more coverage. It helps a little bit. And then my concealer is this Wet n Wild Photofocus concealer in Light Ivory. So I have this orchid that I bought like, I don't know, I think I bought it in like August. For a while it was in really good shape, like I was watering it as often as it said to water it, which I think was like once a week. And now I haven't watered it in like, I don't know, like 3 months maybe, so I don't know what the status is. But the leaves are still there. Like the leaves are, I mean, they're looking kind of droopy now, but it's one of those types of flowers that is supposed to kind of rebloom. So like the individual flowers will fall off and then they'll rebloom. So like at one point, while I was watering it regularly, all the flowers had come off and then they weren't regrowing. So I kind of just like gave up on it. I was like, well, I don't know what's happening here, but I'm just not gonna give my attention to this plant that isn't growing. But now it looks like there's like this whole new, it's like in my window here, there's like this whole new branch that's like blooming sideways, and it looks like there's little flower buds that are gonna bloom. So I don't know, maybe I should start watering again, who knows. Maybe I'll do that. I'm not very good with plants, which is probably why I don't really bother to have them, because I know that, I mean, first of all, they just kind of just take up space, and like they're pretty, but at the end of the day, they're just taking up space, so I don't know. So I'm just going to set everything with this e.l.f. Beautifully Bare finishing powder. I really like this powder, but I'm not that picky about face powder because they all really do the same thing, in my opinion. Like, I don't know. Maybe I need to try like a really good one so that I can see what a really good face powder would do, but I usually just go for the cheap, like, e.l.f. one. So I finally did get my good camera back, and I've been using it for the last few videos, so you may have already noticed, but for a while there I was using like a really old like camcorder that I borrowed from my dad, which, I mean, it was really nice to have that at least to use in the interim period of time where I was waiting for my camera to get fixed. But that camera was not great. I don't really know what the definition of a camcorder is, but, and it said it was HD quality, but it was not good quality. So I'm very glad to have my good camera back. So lately I have been not contouring as much as I used to. I've kind of just been in like lightly bronzing up my face without really doing like a sharp contour. I don't know, I kind of like that a little bit better. Like it gives my face some warmth without actually making it look like super sharp and like chiseled out. So I don't know. I still like contouring every now and then, but right now I'm just using this e.l.f. Like Total Face palette, and I'm just using this bronzer that comes in here. I really like this bronzer. It's matte, and it's really light, so it's not gonna like show up super dark, which I appreciate because I have very fair skin. So that's nice. And that's about all I'm doing for bronzer today. And then for blush, I think I'm gonna use this Terre blush. I've mentioned a few times that I'm testing out this brand because I kind of want to do like a brand overview video on it, since I don't feel like it's talked about very much, and I think it deserves some attention. So I've been using this blush. It's a loose powder blush. I really don't understand why this camera just kind of cuts off after like around 12 minutes of filming. I thought it was because of the memory card. I had like a memory card that was like 16 gigabytes, and I thought maybe I just needed one with more storage, but it's not cutting off because the card is full, it's just cutting off. Like, it cuts off and then I can just hit record again and it starts recording. So I got like a new memory card that I think is like 64 gigs, so that should, I assumed that that would fix the problem, but it did not, so, because my camera just cut off. So that's a pretty blush. It has like a light sheen to it that gives like, it's not like a glittery kind of shimmer, it's just it kind of just gives like a nice glow. So I like it. It's pretty. Yeah, I gotta say, I don't think I'm a huge fan of this Terre foundation. And I don't think it's because of the shade. I think it's because it's just a weird formula. And I'm glad that I got it on sale because it's a really expensive foundation at full price. So I'm just going to highlight my cheeks with, or I mean really my face with the FiOR Minerals Ignite Illuminator. I'm just trying to kind of focus on this product. I don't have like an ongoing makeup project pan right now. I do have one with hair and body care products, but not makeup, so this is one that I'm just kind of trying to focus on and hopefully use up soon, but it's not in like a formal project pan right now. But I do really like this product. It gives a really pretty glow, I guess, to the skin. You can kind of see that. It looks very natural and dewy, and there's not really like straight up shimmer in here, which I appreciate because I don't ever really want like super glittery cheeks. I'm also just going to do like the tip of my nose a little bit and Cupid's bow, chin, maybe a little bit up here. And then what I normally like to do after that, because I'm also kind of trying to focus on this highlight, this is the Wet n Wild Reserve Your Cabana. I like to just kind of set that other highlight with this because this is a cream highlight and it doesn't ever really set. So this kind of helps that. It just kind of helps it set, and that way I can get use out of both and it's a win-win. This highlight on its own doesn't really do much for me. I think just because it's so subtle and I already have pretty light skin, it just doesn't achieve much. I don't know. Ugh. I'm not happy with the way my foundation looks, and I feel like that's affecting my whole mentality right now. Like, I don't know. Do you guys ever feel like your makeup, if you feel like your makeup is off or it just looks weird or it doesn't look right, it just kind of affects your whole state of mind? I don't know. I wish that it looked better, but see, like right there, it's weird. Anyway, okay, so that is pretty much my face. I'm going to do eyeshadow primer now using the one that I always use, the Wet n Wild eyeshadow primer. A little bit of this goes a long way. My hair is falling down. What is that? Okay. And I always kind of like to let my eyeshadow primer set for a little while just because I feel like that helps the eyeshadow that I put on top of it kind of just blend over it better. So I'm going to do my brows with my little baby Sonia Kashuk brow definer in the shade Taupe. This is almost gone, as you can see. I feel like lately I've kind of made a little bit of a breakthrough with my brows. So for the longest time I felt like I was really bad at filling in my brows. Like they always just looked uneven, asymmetrical, like I didn't quite know how to shape them in a way that I felt like looked good. And I think that I was being too shy with how much product I would use. Like I would just use a really light hand and I would like barely draw any product in there and it didn't look quite right. So like I think the breakthrough came when I like threw together a costume this year for Halloween. It was like I decided to be a deer like I was last year, and so I just did the deer makeup really quickly, and for that I was like, okay, well I can really use a lot of brow product because it's a really like heavy makeup look. And so I ended up really like filling in my brows pretty thick. Like I was using a lot of, I think I was using a brow powder, but I allowed myself to use like a lot more product than I normally would, and even though that's more than I would typically use on like a regular day, it kind of just helped me figure out like exactly what my brows look like and how I want to shape them. So now I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I've just gotten a better idea. Also, for a while I was starting out like on the bottom, like right here, but I find that I like it better when I start kind of from the arch to the end, and then I fill in this part. So, I don't know. I think that brows are one of those things that just takes a lot of practice. Like, I would watch other people doing theirs, and I was just like, how do they get theirs to look so good? Like, my brows are not naturally very, like, well-shaped or anything. But I don't know, I think I finally kind of, I'm still not that good at it, but I feel like I've gotten better. I like this brow pencil, except I don't like having to sharpen it all the time, and it's also a really stiff formula, which can be a good thing, but sometimes I wish it were just a little bit creamier. Then I'm just going to use my e.l.f. brow gel to set those in place. Okay, so now for the fun part, for the eyes. I think I'm going to be kind of revisiting my theBalm Nude palette. It's one of my all-time favorites, and I don't know what to do though. Do you guys have any ideas? I also have this 100% pure like cream shadow dual-ended stick that I want to use because I don't use this enough. But actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't really know if it goes that well with this palette, so never mind on that. Let me actually, I think I actually want to use my Pixi Lid Last Shadow Pen in Gentle Gold. This is a good like gold base, and I think I want to use this shimmery gold in here. So yeah, let's do that. That's a better idea. I'm really sad. I think they discontinued this product, which it's a really good eyeshadow pencil because it sets in place and it doesn't move. So I don't know why they're discontinuing it because it's an awesome product. Okay, I'm back once again. The camera cut off for the second time. Okay, so let's do, I am going to do the crease first. So I like using this feisty shade, whoops. This feisty shade, it's kind of a matte, dusty mauve in the crease. And I kind of like doing my crease before I go in with like a lid shade. I don't know why, I just like that a little bit better. And this is the e.l.f. crease brush, by the way. It's a nice, like, kind of smaller crease brush. I feel like I can be a little bit more precise with it. I'm probably just going to be doing like a pretty basic eyeshadow look today. Not really in the mood to do anything super complicated. I feel like my voice gets tired really quickly. I don't know if I could ever be like a teacher or like someone who has to talk all day because my voice is already getting tired. Now I'm just going to go into Faithful, which is just a really nice gold. Really pretty, just kind of topping off that base that I already laid down. But that Pixi base really does help it pop even more. Oh, so I finally got some Red Apple lipstick products. I had talked about Red Apple lipstick as one of the brands that I do really want to try in 2018, so I went ahead and I needed like, I'm almost out of lip balm, so I had heard about their lip balm. I have it right here in front of me actually. I heard about their lip balm and I'd heard that it was really good, so I went ahead and got that along with their exfoliate stick, which, I mean, honestly looks really similar to like the e.l.f. lip exfoliators, but it's more expensive. And then I also got a lipstick, which I think I'll try today at the end of this video, so that'll be fun. So now that the lid is done, I think I'm just going to pretty much leave it at that. For the brow bone, I'm just going to highlight with this Fearless shade here. It's just one of those matte cream colors that's perfect for highlighting the brow bone. feel like this palette is just so underrated. And I mean, it's been out for quite a long time, but I wish that people would realize what a great palette this is. And then for the inner corner, I really like to use Fabulous. It's this kind of, it's almost like a duochrome, shimmery, like whitish gold, and it's super brightening for the inner corner, which you'll see in a second. But kind of pop it on in there, and it looks so brightening. A lot of times, even if I'm not using this palette as a whole for my eyeshadow look, I do still really like to use that just for my inner corner, because it's like the perfect inner corner shade. So, I don't know if you can tell, but I feel like that just really opens up my eyes a little bit. I am also going to line my lower lash line. What should I use for that? I think I'll use Fine. It's this dark shimmery brown here. It's like a nice like chocolate brown kind of color. And I'm just going to smudge that on there. And that is my super basic eyeshadow look. I am going to do some liner and some mascara, so it will look less crazy in just a second. I haven't been using liquid liner as much lately. I have kind of just been liking doing like just mascara and no eyeliner on like the upper lash line. But I still really like the look of some nice black liner as well, so I'm going to do that today. Okay, I haven't done winged liner in a really long time, so this might not end up looking too great, but this isn't a tutorial. This is just a fun get ready with me, so I hope you didn't come expecting perfection, because you're not going to get that here, sorry. Gosh, I really love just like the shimmery lid, like a light kind of goldeny shimmery lid with that like dusty mauve in the crease. Like that's like such a simple eyeshadow look, but it's one of my favorites because it's just so like brightening, and it makes me look, I feel like it makes me look really awake, and I just love it. Alright. I have to like brace myself before I do the wing, because I'm like, okay, Sarah, focus. Like, you can do this. Still repping the Georgia Bulldogs with my chipped red nail polish. This nail polish actually lasted a really long time. This is the Wet n Wild Wild Shine nail polish in the shade called Red Red. And it's just like their 99-cent nail polish. And it actually lasts, I mean, it's chipped now, obviously, but this has been on for almost a week, and it doesn't look, you know, it's not like completely chipped off, so that's pretty impressive. Okay, let's hurry up before the camera cuts off for the third time. I'm going to just do some quick mascara. This is the Ulta Beauty Curled Up Mascara. So I think that if you are not bothered by a little bit of potential tiny flaking with your mascara, that you would probably really like this mascara. I think that it is super like lengthening and volumizing. It does smudge a little bit, not smudge, it just kind of flakes a tiny bit, and only sometimes, not all the time. Like if I rub my eyes, I'm going to end up with a little bit of little specks here and there, but as a whole, I really like this. You know, if you ignore that minor detail, it is a really nicely volumizing mascara. I mean, this is just one coat so far. So this line of products is just so often overlooked, and it's been getting a little bit more attention on YouTube a little bit, but I don't know, I think that Ulta Beauty makes some really good products that we should pay attention to. That's kind of why I wanted to try this mascara, because I've never heard any of their mascaras talked about. I'm going to skip the lower lash line this time. Sometimes I like to just kind of do the upper lash line and be done with mascara, so there's that. And then for lipstick, like I said, I want to try out this new Red Apple lipstick. This is in the shade Beachside, which is just kind of a peachy nude color. I don't really have anything else like this. It reminds me a little bit of the Wet n Wild lipstick in Bare It All, but the formula is quite different. It's only my second time wearing this, so I have not formed a solid opinion on it yet, but so far I do really like the shade. It's a really nice, just wearable nude. It's not too light to where I look like I have no lips, you know, but the formula is also really nice and creamy, so it almost feels like I'm just like putting a lip balm on because it just glides on really smoothly. So I'm going to take my hair out of this towel, but I don't know if it's going to look decent at all. No, it looks crazy. Okay, so yeah, my hair is damp, but there's the finished look. I hope that you enjoyed this video and found it fun. I certainly had fun kind of getting ready with you guys. If you did enjoy, I hope that you'll subscribe to my channel. Sorry, I'm distracted by my crazy hair. I need to blow dry it. But if you did enjoy, I hope you'll subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you guys next time.